Georgetown Loop ride. No mine stop.
All right, for those of you that did not get to take a mine tour, I'll tell you a little bit about what you're missing. You look off to the left-hand side of the train. You will see a wooden portal at the side of the mountain down there, behind that big ore bucket. That's actually the Everett Mine. The Everett Mine is a sister mine to the Lebanon. The Lebanon is the one that we take you in. What a sister mine is what that means is those tunnels connect somewhere back in under the ground. In our case, they connect about 1,200 feet back. The Lebanon Mine, well, the reason they're called the sister mine is because it said that they shared the same mother lode. Mine is a 6-level mine. The bottom 2 levels are underground, are underwater. The 3rd level is the level that we take you in, and the levels 4, 5, and 6 were mostly destroyed by the interstate. If you know where to look, you can see a few small portals up there in the rocks. We all know where they are, but they're hard to spot. Now these 2 mines, there are over 250 shafts in that mountain alone. Over $200 million worth of silver in 19th century dollars. That would equate to about $1.5 billion today. All this silver earned Georgetown its nickname of Silver Queen of the Rockies. We're slowing down because we have a logging crew out here working. Apparently we have found them. Off on our right-hand side, we are approaching an area called the Hall Tunnel. Now the Hall Tunnel started out to be a tunnel through Leavenworth Mountain to the south side. The plan was to bring ore from the south side, put it on this train, take it down to the city for processing. However, shortly after starting the tunnel, they reached rich veins of silver. The tunnel idea was scrapped, and this quickly became a silver mine. If you look, you'll see a rock-lined trough leading back to the south. That is the entrance to the mine. It has since been dynamited shut for safety. Old Ingersoll Rand air compressor out there that they use to power their drills. That gives us some ventilation. That stone foundation is what's left of the old boiler house burned down in the late 1960s. Now this mine ended up being the highest silver producing mine in all of Clear Creek County. In fact, some say it was the highest in all of the country. Mine actually operated well into the 1960s, so long after the silver crash of 1893. And this mine, you remember, was a mistake. And for those of you that are not familiar with the story of the loop, I'll tell you a little bit about it. The towns of Silver Plume and Georgetown are only 2 miles apart. However, they differ in elevation by 650 feet. Had the tracks been laid straight up through the valley, the grade would have exceeded 6%, which is far too steep for normal mountain railroading. So the average steam locomotive, broad locomotive, that was too steep for them. We got wave to the loggers, and we found them. Off on the right. So the surveyors came up with a route that doubled back over itself. Okay, by doing so, they increased the distance between the 2 towns by rail to 4.5 miles. They were able to keep the grade at about a 3% grade. Now there was only a couple other places in the world at the time that used a loop as a means of gaining elevation. However, in these other cases, the loops were underground in tunnels and could not be seen. Ours was out there on that spectacular curved iron bridge. That's what made the Georgetown Loop the scenic and engineering marvel of the 19th century. right-hand side, I would have like a 52 or 53 on them. That is actually the distance to Union Station by rail. Okay? Remember, these tracks used to go all the way to Union Station. Nowadays, they end at our Georgetown town limits. The next whistle we hear is going to be our warning whistle for the high bridge. When we get out there, you're going to want to hang on tight to your hats. Or anything else that is relatively light that you think might blow away.
Okay.
If anything does blow away, perhaps the fishermen will be glad to get it out of the lake for you later today. Okay, our bridge is 300 feet long. It is built on an 18.5-degree curve at a 2% descending grade. So even though we look level, we are actually dropping 6 feet in elevation from one side of this bridge to the other. Once again, if you look off to the right, you'll see Georgetown off there in the distance. On the far side of the bridge, you will see a pile of granite blocks. That is all that is left of the old bridge. Those were the old bridge abutments. You'll also see the bike path, and if you notice with a sharp eye, you'll notice that it's pavement on top of pavement. Well, that lower level of pavement is actually the old US 6. Before we had I-70, US 6 made an S-curve right here where our parking lot is today. That was the only way through this valley. If you look off to the left, way up there at the rocky peak, right on the skyline, you'll see what looks like a gallows. That is actually all that's left of the Sunrise Tram. That tram, if you Google it, there's a lot of information. It was actually the first aerial tram in North America, and it was bright and silver. I personally find that fascinating. Today is our Shay steam locomotive. It is our number 9 engine, built in 1923. A Shay engine differs from a conventional steam, as a conventional steam has rods on the side that go back and forth. That's what people are used to seeing. A Shay has 3 vertical cylinders that are connected to a crankshaft. This crankshaft turns a driveline that runs the full length of the locomotive. That driveline turns gears that are attached to each set of wheels, essentially making this an all-wheel drive locomotive. This gave these locomotives great pulling power, but not a lot of speed. This particular engine was used in a logging operation up in Northern California, pulling lumbering redwood trees. It comes to us from Westside Lumber Company. The car right behind that is a dining car that came to us from the White Pass in Yukon, built in the 1960s. Our yellow cars are the box cars, which were used to carry just about anything you could fit in them. And the open cars, those are what we call drop-bottom gondolas. They carried bulk ore or coal, things like that. They had a trap door in the bottom. That is the way the material was emptied out of. These cars, the box cars and the gonds, are between 90 and 100 years old. Everything was converted in our Silver Plume yard for use on this train as passenger cars. Now we hear a lot of bells and whistles out on the train. They all have a very specific meaning. The next set of whistles you're going to hear will be 2 longs, a short, and a long. That is actually Morse code for the letter Q. It originated use on the railroad in Great Britain back in the old days to signify that the Queen was on board that particular train. See, the Queen's train always had the right of way. We use it in this country as a national railroad crossing symbol. It is blown at any crossing, whether it's a road, a bike path, or a foot trail. It is blown to signify that the train always has the right of way. You need to stop, look, and listen.
You just wanted to get into it with the whistles.
That road that we're actually crossing is the old Lebanon Mine road. That was how the miners got to work. Now how the tour guides get up there to work. Okay, we're rounding the last corner here. You've traveled just about a mile as the crow flies from the Silver Plume Yard, but you've used over 3 miles of track to get down here. And we've dropped you 450 feet in elevation. We will be taking on quite a few more passengers here down at Devil's Gate. So if you like your seats, you might want to stay on board. Okay, we're only here for 15 minutes. Okay, if you need to get off to use restrooms, the restrooms are across the bridge. However, like I said, it is first come, first served seating. So if you like where you are, you might want to stay put. I saw a large crowd down there. While we're down here, we're going to be uncoupling the engine, running it up to the other end of the train and hooking it back up to pull us back up the mountain. I want you to remind you of those safety rules of no standing on the seats, no sitting on the side rails while we're running the engine around. I know it's fun to stand up there and take pictures, but trust me, this is a very dangerous thing to do. Welcome to Devil's Gate. You are now at 8,615 feet above sea level. Oh, you have yours up?
Number 9.
That must be the pump. Where all the wheels turn.
All-wheel drive.
Switchman getting out.
Get over. Oh, lights on. There we go.
Got
Gotta
backup.
change it over.
Beat it. The modern one's got backup lights.
Yeah. Now it's got a beeper on it. We got her on the right track. Ooh, look at all that ash gonna get on us. I just want to know which way the wind's blowing, that's all. Keep your hands out of it. Ramming speed.
Yeah.
Look at Mitchell. Moving fast.
We're gonna couple up.
Great.
Those of you in the open cars, there is no standing on the seats. Need you to sit down, sir.
Get out the seat.
Not standing on it.
Not standing on the seat.
Sit down. Sit down.
are sold out. If you have backpacks, diaper bags, camera bags sitting up on the seat,